I want you to cry into your Hello Kitty pillow. I want you to put your headphones on. I want you to listen to some Taylor Swift. And I want you to shake it off, you bland bitch.
What up, y'all? It's KMB the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. And we're talking about SmackDown, February 20th, 2026. Wade and Joe on commentary, and we are in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, at the Amaranth Bank Arena. And we are still on Sci-Fi for this week. We return back to the USA Network in Louisville, Kentucky for SmackDown. And then, of course, we're in Atlanta for Monday Night Raw, where they're going to pay a nice, beautiful tribute to AJ Styles. Now, let's talk about this SmackDown, all right? We started off hot with Cody. Ooh, he comes out. And before he asks the crowd what we want to talk about, here comes Jacob Batu, because last week Cody won the Triple Threat Elimination Chamber match over Sammy and Jacob because Drew was the one that was like, hey, Sammy, got in Sammy's ear. You're going to win tonight, Sammy. And he comes out and he tries to help Sammy win, tries to screw over Cody and Jacob. So this is just pushing it more like, I think I know the finish of the Elimination Chamber. I think it's going to be Cody. Then Jacob's going to get involved, and then it's going to turn into a triple threat at WrestleMania. And I'm like, man, what about my boy LA Knight? Because if you look at who's in the chamber right now, Trick, Cody, LA, Randy, Javon, he's the wild card. And we get who's going to be next. And then with the women's, we got Tiffy, we got Rhea, we got Alexa, we got Asuka, we got Kiara. Who's going to be next? Yeah, so let's get right on into this. And I loved every minute of it. Jacob's like, hey, man, as much as I want to finish business with you, Cody, my focus is Drew McIntyre. Nick Aldis comes out. He's like, yo, I gave Drew the night off. So me and you, Jacob, let's go in the back. And this is Cody's time to speak. Let Cody speak. And Jacob's like, what? No, and all of a sudden we hear, you can't keep the champ's name out of your mouth. And Drew McIntyre is here. He bought himself a whole suite. And he's like, this is just so cute, you two. All gas, no brakes. Jacob, it's more like all bark, no bite. Ooh, that sets up Jacob being pissed off. And he tries to go there, and then the security guard just beat him up. Nick gets in his face. He's like, if you do this, I will fine you. I will suspend you. I will do all these things. You need to stop. We're not jeopardizing Elimination Chamber. We're not jeopardizing WrestleMania. So you need to stop. And that stops Jacob in his tracks. And he's like, fine. And Drew keeps talking. Cody then grabs the mic. He's like, hey, you keep saying the champ. We're not going after you because you're the champ. We're going after you because you're an asshole. Mic drop. I was like, oh. Ooh, you go, Cody. Wait, what the heck? I don't know. That was a donut thing. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I was like, you go, Cody. Whoa! And Drew's like, oh, call me an asshole? Fine. Ooh, it's windy today. Oh, no, that's the plane flying by. Yeah, we just had a big snowstorm here, and I live pretty close to the airport. But I don't know why we're talking about that. Then we get the MFTs and the Wyatt 6 package, because Solo stole that lantern, and they want it back. Then we have Mello and Ilya, and Ilya's hyping up Mello, because Ilya has a match up next against Tama Tonga. It's all tying into this Wyatt 6 and MFT war. Then we have Jacob with Nick, and Nick tells Jacob, like, hey, I will get Drew McIntyre out of here. You just need to go. And Jacob's like, okay, fine. Whatever. Then we get into our first match of the night, Ilya Dragunov versus Tama Tonga. I would have liked this match if it was just a straight-up Tama Tonga, Ilya Dragunov match, but no, MFTs were on the ringside the whole time, and of course they're going to interfere to help Tama Tonga to get the win. He's next up for singles championship, maybe the United States championship, we shall see, but they have been building Tama Tonga up away from the MFTs, and, he's the next one. And it's not Solo. So, but yeah, then MFT's Solo cuts a promo after. And Ilya Dragunov is not having any of it. So he attacks Solo, fight, then beat down. And here comes Matt Cardona. And here comes Apollo. And here comes the Wyatt 6. No, here comes a video saying, like, you better watch out, Solo. Ooh. we're coming after you. And I believe, they set up Uncle Howdy and Solo next week. We get a little thing with Drew and Nick, and Nick gets pissed off at Drew, and he says, you don't test me, man. Don't test me. And Drew's like, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to leave. Bye-bye. See you later. Then Byron is with Randy. He's in the chamber, and he, as he's talking, here comes Zelina and Alistair, sets up our main event for tonight. That's awesome. Randy Orton versus Alistair Black. Yes, boy! Byron is then with Nia and Lash. And if you look at the women's side, it's stacked. It's stacked, man. Tiffy, Rhea, Alexa, Asuka, Kiana. That's who's next. Who else is going to be in that chamber? But Nia and Lash, they're a dominant force right now. We have Jade Cargill. She comes out, says the same things. I'm that bitch. The only thing I liked about this whole thing is after she says her line and then she drops the mic, and as she's walking, here comes Charlotte. Charlotte's music hits, and we're teasing this again. Charlotte's walks out, looks at her, and then just completely brushes her off, and that pisses Jade off. And she gets in Charlotte Flair's face, and then Charlotte's like, woo! I was like, okay, bravo. But it's an elimination qualifying match. Like I said, Charlotte Flair versus Kiana James versus Nia. I was like, all right, either it has to be Nia or Charlotte Flair, not Kiana. Oh my gosh. But this was an awesome match. I will say, it's my second favorite match. My first of two matches of the night. This was an awesome triple threat. Kiana winning was like, what? But she won in an interesting way, but I'm going to get to that. Nia and Flair had some she's like, hit me. You hit like a bitch. I'm like, whoa. But I like when she was going to the figure 8, Kiana slid in, and that's how she got the pin on Flair. Kind of messed up to begin with. It wasn't as smooth as I think it should have been, but I was like, oh, Kiana, huh? Just like Javon, she's the wild card in this whole thing. Okay. I wish it was Julia, just saying. But Julia had her opportunity and chance. So Kiana James is moving on to Elimination Chamber. Then we get Rio with Byron. They were watching. They're like, oh, okay, And I believe Io is in a qualifying match next week. So we'll see if Io takes that last spot. It's all hands in the air, man. We got Elimination Chamber February 28th, WrestleMania April 18th to the 19th. Then we have Backlash May 9th, and then we have Clash in Italy May 31st. So WWE ain't stopping anytime soon, and they've been promoting the Royal Rumble like crazy because it's going to air on ESPN channel. It's already on the app, but the channel itself. So good times there. Then we go to Kit Wilson versus Oba. I will say this is my moment of the night. Second moment of the night. First one was all that Cody stuff, man. Cody, Jacob, Drew, that was just great. But this was Kit's like, whoa, I got a poem for you. It's called The Ode to Oba. And he does it, and Oba's listening. And it's entertaining, and and Oba's like, read me another one. And Kit's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, no, read me another one. And it ends with him saying, he doesn't like Oba, toxic Oba, and then Oba goes in and just whoops that ass. Oh my gosh, man. When he does that pose with the light behind him, I was like, chef kiss right there, man. That's our next champ at some point. But we got to get there. Let him have his little Kit Wilson things and stuff like that go on first. That's how we got to get him. He'll be in the main event soon. Then we have Nick with Truth and Priest, and the big box is there. The big box is supposed to be open February 28th at Elimination Chamber. And Truth's like, all right, well, I'm going to be there, right? I won a Grammy. He's like, a Slammy? I never heard of that. And I love the fact that he broke Priest in this segment because Truth, he's talking to Nick, and Nick's like, yeah, sorry, Truth, you're not in the match. And he's like, you know what? I want the bald guy back. Where's the bald guy? But Priest has a big opportunity tonight? He has a big opportunity tonight. Tiffany versus Alba. It was okay. Tiffany got the win. Chelsea's in her wheelchair, Then we have Cody and, oh no, this was my moment of the night. Yeah, there's some good stuff tonight. Cody and Sammy getting in each other, like yelling at each other. Like, Sammy's like, look at what you did. He goes, hey man, I took advantage in the chaos. You would have done the same thing, Sammy. And he was like, and Sammy's like, yeah? Well, blah, 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 blah. And Cody's like, whoa, hey, hold up. Like, I got screwed because I tried to do the right thing too. So don't go preaching all that. Then here comes Trick. And Trick gets in Sammy's mind. Sammy's like, and he goes over and he says, I'm sorry to Cody. And I'm like, what game are we playing here with Sammy? Is that heel turn coming? I feel like something's on the horizon for Sammy, and they keep like either giving it to us or not. It's just interesting. Then we go right into, they're going to do a tribute to AJ, then an elimination qualifying match, Mello versus Damian versus Trick. Woo, baby. Put on those yellow pepper steppers because this match was awesome. Oh, my gosh. Damian, Trick, and Mello, they went all out in this match. But it's my boy, Trick Willie. Whoop that Trick who gets the win. And I'm like, you know what? I am okay with this. Trick Williams is a star in those yellow pepper steppers. So this was an awesome match, though, man. Next to the women's elimination qualifying match, like, these two matches are my matches of the night. So good. So good. Then we get Nick and Candice, and Johnny's just laying on top of the box. Candice and Johnny were on vacation with their kid, and then they took a picture, and it's just Johnny Gargano with that pose laying down because he's so sad. He lost his friend Ciampa. Ciampa went off to better things, to be honest. Well, kind of. He won a championship and lost a championship, but still, I think Ciampa is where Ciampa needs to be, and Johnny Gargano, so sad. So sad. The tag team division is there, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium. Then here comes Jordan getting in Candice LeRae's face. I think we're going to have a match between Jordan and Candice. But Johnny, though, poor Johnny. My boy Johnny! Then we have Jade backstage by B-Fab and Michin. I did not like this because they made Jade look like a bitch. No offense to Jade, but when Michin had that kendo stick and kind of was like, and like Jade kind of flinch, I was like, man, this is those moments where you just need to have Jade be that bitch and beat down B-Fab and Michin right here. Like, that first kendo stick and that first flinch, she's like, all right, don't do that again. Then when Michin did it a second time, that's where Jade should have just laid waste to these two because I'm tired of the B-Fab and Michin stuff. I'm like, I don't want this anymore. I think this is where Jade could have squashed the whole thing and just ended all of that. But no, Jade walked away like, whatever. And I'm like, oh, she looks weak. What the hell? That should have been done very, very differently. Just saying. Julia versus Rhea. I was very excited about this match. These two, I thought they could put on a banger, which they do, but it ended in no contest because originally Io was supposed to face Julia, which I was looking forward to. But I was like, Rhea versus Julia? Oh yeah, let's do this. But no, it is spoiled by Nia, Lash, and here comes Io. But Rhea and Io are standing tall at the end of it all. Bum bum bum, the drama. And this, Miz and Oba, like, no, Miz, no. Go away. Go away, Miz. Don't go near Oba. I don't need no Miz Oba or anything weird tag team like that. But I think it's going to set up a match between Oba and Miz, and I hope that's it. That's all. Please, no, don't put these two together. Please. Charlotte and Alexa are backstage. Charlotte's like, I'm okay. Then here comes Kiana. Here comes Julia. And I believe this sets up a tag team match for next week. So I'm excited to see that. Then we have MFTs in the back. Then he's like, all right, guys, let's go. They want this lantern. And Solo is there, and he tells Tama Tonga, like, I'm proud of you. And he's like, thank you, Solo. My family tree. I'm proud of you. Then here comes Shinsuke. And I'm like, oof. I like this feud between Tama and Shinsuke. I do. Main event time, baby. Randy Orton versus Aleister Black. And I gotta say, I was like, because even though the Aleister Black got the win, this is a huge win for his career. I'm like, finally, we're going to take this guy seriously beating Randy. Yes, it took Drew to come in to hit Randy, to have him have that advantage, to get the win over Aleister Black. But I was like, I like this. Let's get Aleister Black into the light. Let's let him shine because Aleister Black is awesome. And I don't want to see what happened the first time around. He came up to the main roster in WWE and Vince just wasted him. And I'm like, this is a Triple H guy, so let's do it. Aleister Black, I feel like he deserves something, and I feel like he deserved this huge win. I can tell when he rolled in Randy, he said thank you. But Drew getting enemies everywhere. Now out of Randy Orton, well, he's been an enemy. But then here comes Cody. Then Cody comes back, and then he's like checking on Randy, and Drew's holding the championship. And I thought Jacob was going to attack him, but no, this is how we end the show. And I'm like, okay, anything can happen. Elimination Chamber next weekend. R.I.P. Kerwin, Silfies, hope I say his last name right, 1950 to 2026, R.I.P. But that's it. That's all. 4 out of 5 for the SmackDown, February 20th, 2026. Joe Wade on commentary in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida at the Amarant Bank Arena. A lot has gone on in the show. 3 hours, like I said, is a lot, but I think they did what they could with this 3 hours. Matches of the night is the both men's and women's elimination qualifying match. Moment of the night. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Oh my gosh, because I love what happened with Oba and Kit, the poem thing, and I gotta say what happened with Cody and Sammy. Just really let's grind the gears on that. Let's there's something there. Either a match or Sammy turning on everybody. But that's it. That's all, folks. We're on to Collision next. That NWA Power episode will come eventually. Just playing catch up. But I was like, let's get the main shows out of the way. I am going to watch the Hog show, House of Glory Wrestling. I really want to see MJF versus Zilla. So, all right, y'all. That's it. That's all. This is... like and subscribe, yeah. Share with your grandma, share with the bum down on Walmart. I am KMB. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Can't keep the champ's name out of their mouth now, can they?